Unfortunately, we're here to talk about your elimination banishment from House of
Well,
Villains.
I'm not really eliminated. I'm not really eliminated. I'll be back.
Oh yeah?
You know, the
Okay.
show the show has a lot of twists and turns, and you can never really figure the show out. And I'm only gone for a minute, but I'm back. I'm
No
back.
one's
So
ever really gone.
no, no. Well, I'm not.
Well, at the moment you were banished. How does it feel to be the first one to go? I mean, unanimously as well.
Everybody keeps driving home that you were unanimously eliminated. So how this show works is you can't. It doesn't matter if a couple guys pick me and the rest don't. You have to. It has to be unanimous because the person that did vote for me to stay, now they have a target on their back. So
Mm,
unless it's like a 4-3 or a 3-2 or 5-4, it needs to be unanimous or you're going to get voted off. So it's just more of a chess match than anything else. But as far as getting eliminated first, I was a little like, oh my gosh, upset about it at first, just because I felt like nobody really knew me there. The
yeah.
only thing that I have going off of is obviously that I'm a pretty intimidating guy. I'm kind of athletic and I want to win and I'm aggressive and I'm kind of an alpha male. I'm all these things that you kind of really don't want on a show like this because I'm going to win. So
Right.
you want to eliminate somebody like me first. So when I found that out and I kind of asked everybody at the premiere, I was like, I go, guys, why did you guys hate me so much? And it's like, it's not we hated you. You're a threat. And guys like you are the first usually to go. So I probably should have downplayed I guess I probably should have downplayed myself a little bit more, but I came in like a raging bull. Like Tiffany said, I really came out to win. And I didn't form alliances. I didn't have partnerships. I didn't even get to pick my own room. I was behind the eight ball before I even got there. So I felt like, you know what, there's just no way for me to do anything besides bully my way through this. And clearly that didn't work. So,
To say, do you
next time
think
I'll do my
there's
homework.
to say, do you think there's anyone you should have maybe painted a target on, like a Johnny Bananas, just knowing he has so much like physical challenge
It doesn't.
experience under
It
his
doesn't
belt?
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much physical. It almost works against you. Being guys like myself and Johnny Bananas, we're doomed on those shows because, you can't really. There's no advantage to those shows. Guys like me versus, anybody can win the game. That's basically
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's designed for no advantages for anybody. So, but you see a guy like me or you see a guy like Johnny Bananas, like that we're gonna be aggressive. So these are the guys you want to get rid of first. So I don't take it to heart anymore. I did. I was a little upset about it in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm like, my wife told me, she's like, please just don't be the first one voted off. Like, it's embarrassing. And sure enough, I'm the first one voted off. So
I was
uh
gonna ask what her
yeah.
reaction was to you
She
being sent home first.
You know what? We watched the show together, and she actually really likes it. She liked the show a lot. She was just really surprised how quiet I was, how kind of aloof I
Mm,
was, how I really didn't partake in any arguing or anything like that. And to be honest, I just felt really out of place. I felt really out of place. I didn't know anybody.
yeah.
Um, I just didn't want to start arguments for no reason. And I felt like that's what everybody was doing. Everybody was kind of just digging everybody. And I also felt that I was with some iconic people in TV. Like, like I
Yeah.
said, Tanisha, New York, Omarosa. You don't want to go to war with them at all.
No,
They're
that's a
so good
target
at
you
what
want to
they do.
avoid.
Yeah, they're so good at what they do. So I would creep around the house and try to. Basically, it was like a master class for me in learning how to be on a reality show like that. I was learning so much. So, that's what I take out of it. I learned a lot from these girls. I learned what to do, what not to do. I think the fact that I think they were thinking me that I was going to go into the show like the villain that I used to be, and I
Yeah.
really wasn't. I wasn't. Here's a chance for me to be aggressive and lying and scamming, and I chose to go the other route. So, you're
Now
damned
you
if
know
you
what
do,
to
you're
do
damned
next
if you
time.
don't.
And the banishment, it's pretty dramatic. I mean, you're pulling backwards to read the wall. You
I
were
know.
strapped in, so I'm sure you had to assume something was going to happen. But just what is your reaction to that? Just when that happens?
I got to be honest. I wasn't sure if it was going to be me or Corinne. I kind of had an idea it was going to be me. I kind of felt it out a little bit. The guy said, "Yeah, you're probably going to go first." I kind of had it in my back of my head, and
Yeah.
so I knew I was going to be the one being shot back for sure. It was out of hydraulic. It was just right back, real quick. It was all dark behind there. So yeah, not only was I stuck behind there for a minute, then then I got eliminated, and I was stuck behind there for a minute. So it was kind of just to add insult to injury. So
Just sitting in the dark.
Sitting in the dark, waiting till they got me out of the chair. Yeah.
And I know you said, or I mean, we see it. New York made you cry with her words before your banishment. Just have you spoken with her since at the premiere, at the junket? Like, are you guys cool now? I guess where do you stand?
Like I said before, I was on with some pretty incredible women, and New York is one of them. She is iconic on what she does. Yeah. She puts people in their place. I didn't really Google her until after the fact, and I was like, oh, this is who she is. I took it personally, which it bothered me. But after I talked to her at the premiere, she's like, honey, this is what I do for a living. You know how she is. She's spicy. Yeah. She's like, this is what I do. This is who I am. It's nothing personal. She's more of a scripted reality kind of person. Like, that's who you're getting with her. It doesn't matter if it was me. It didn't matter if it was Corinne, Johnny Bananas. She goes after everybody. Yeah. I just took it to heart because I'm like, God, I met you 5 minutes ago. How do you know me? I go, I know my friends. I have friends of 15 years that I've had bad things with. They've never called me these names. So I was kind of like, I've never had anybody make me cry. Like, I wasn't crying. Let me make that clear. I teared up just because I was like, I've never had anybody call me a demon before. So I was like,
it's pretty bad.
I go, I'm the farthest thing from a demon. I go, let me tell you right now. But I feel like this was her shtick, and this is her way to get rid of me, and this is whatever. But yeah, no harm, no foul. Like I said, at the end of the day, this is a game, so they have to do what they have to do.
I was saying, after seeing the rest of the third episode, she does the same thing for the next people to go up. Yeah, so she's got the reads ready for everyone.
I didn't realize she did that with Johnny Bananas too. I had him on my podcast this morning, and he said the same thing. He's like, she went after me the following week. And Johnny and I are the most intimidating, probably the ones you want to get rid of first. So I get it. I understand. It's part of it.
And I mean, Shake, on the other hand, I'm curious where you stand with him now, because that seemed like it was a different level of.
I don't stand anywhere with him. I felt like Shake was one of those guys that won a contestant. Like, he should not have been on that show with us. He was like way out of his league, A. And B, I feel like he's kind of one of he reminds me of that guy who won a trip to go hang out with a celebrity. That's who he is. He's one of those guys. He was kind of like a fangirl a little bit. And I tried to offer my, some of my knowledge of being on reality and kind of monetizing reality and kind of using this and making money and making a living from this. And he kind of used it against me and made me look like that I was bragging, and I was really not bragging at all. I was just trying to give him my playbook on what to do and what not to do. Like, if I was in his situation, I would love if somebody like me came up and be like, hey, this is what you need to do. Stay away from this, talk to this person, and then you can make some money, because it's a very tough world, this world we're in. Everybody's an influencer. Everybody's a reality star, YouTuber, TikToker. You got to figure out what your niche is and go that way. And I was just trying to help him out a little bit. And then he goes upstairs, uses it against me, says I'm bragging.
You can hear the whole thing.
Oh, he's Googling me, finding out how much I make. Obviously, everything's on the internet, so you can just research me, and it says it all. He's like, he doesn't need this money. He doesn't need that. Well, of course I do. We live in California. It's a very expensive place.
And last, I was going to ask, do you have any regrets about talking about like the cameo and the Jenny Craig deal?
No, not at all. I think that was
because it goes to what you're just talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I said this in every other meeting I've had. I kind of was like I was giving him like the Michael Jordan rule. Like, Michael Jordan was on the Chicago Bulls. That was a very small percentage of the money he made. How Michael Jordan made his money is with Gatorade, McDonald's, Nike. That's how you do that. So that's kind of the same thing. Michael Jordan did the same thing when he did his documentary. He's like, this is how I made my money. Here is my playbook. It's the same thing. You're helping people out. Wasn't bragging at all. I'm just showing that this is what you can make if you work at it. Yeah. Like, I don't need to brag. I'm a pretty happy guy. I mean, you can Google anybody. You can figure out anybody. Doesn't really, I don't know. He used it against me. He saw like a vulnerability with me, and he used it against me.